So I am back from my trip over the weekend. If you didn't see where I was, I'll have a video on that coming very soon. But for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you saw kind of what I was up to. So I post a lot of things on Instagram on my story and just a few photos of the lawn and things like that in between my videos. So if you want to check that out, cool. If you're on Instagram, go ahead and check it out at Ryan Knorr Lawn Care. So today I am in the backyard. What's happening now is we're getting to a point of the year where it's starting to lose a little bit of color. So this hasn't had anything since last fall. And you're gonna say to me, Ryan, I don't know what you're talking about. Look at this right here. Looks fine to me. Well, when you see your yard every single day and you know how it looks and you kind of know when it starts to lose color, when it starts to need something. So that's about where I'm at right now. The problem is that it's springtime and that it's still growing like crazy. So although I don't really want to add a lot of nitrogen right now, now is about when I would normally put my first app of fertilizer down if I've been doing heavy fertilizer in the fall, which I've been doing for the past few years. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you a little bit of an option that I'm going to try as an alternative to Milorganite, because if you've watched my previous videos this spring, you know that I don't need any more phosphorus in my lawn. So I have to come up with some kind of option there that's going to give us a different plan if I don't want to go with that. And we also know that Milorganite has been having problems with shortages, things like that. And so I'm going to try to find an option here for you guys that you might want to use that might be affordable. And so that's what we're going to do today. So many of you are probably going to ask right away why I just don't go with Ringer, as that's been an option for people for a long time. But the fact is that it's kind of expensive. That's one thing. And two, they've changed the formula a little bit this year. So I don't know kind of how that factors into the product compared to what it used to be. So there's an option here that's very similar to what Ringer used to be. It's available at Home Depot, or you can have it ordered into your store, or I bought some on Amazon. So this is actually a plant-based organic product. So it's got some soybean meal in there, a few other things, but it's more of a plant-based fertilizer. So we know Milorganite is actually a biosolids product, meaning that it's taken from wastewater. They do a process with that, and then they get a fertilizer out of that. So it's a little bit different, but why I like to keep this backyard organic is, one, it's a really good option for all of our pets and everything that's out here, and two, it's just that it's great for beginners to learn how to spread fertilizer. You don't have to be quite as careful with the rates. You can go a little bit more, you can go a little bit less. That's really why I like to do that, and I like to keep this backyard looking pretty good with minimal inputs. So this is a 1002 product, and again, that gives me no phosphorus and a little bit of potassium. Now, I'd like maybe just a little bit more potassium if possible, but it's okay for what I'm doing right now. If I needed to add more in the future, I could actually add just a potassium product if I wanted to, but I think this would be a good option for those who are looking to get away from the phosphorus, if your soil test kind of indicated that, or if you're just looking for a product that you can use that would be organic, you can't find anything like Milorganite around you. I think this is going to be an interesting option going forward. So this bag says it's going to cover 5,000 square feet. Now that would be at a rate of 0.5 pounds of nitrogen onto the ground. So I'll probably go a little bit heavier than that here. I normally did on Milorganite. I normally did an application of around 3/4 of a pound to a little bit more than that sometimes. So I'm probably going to go with a similar app here, and I have 3,500 square feet inside of my fence line. So I'll probably just try to stick with that spreader setting that's listed on the bag, and then we'll just see how far it goes, and that way you guys know kind of how it spreads out and how it works that way. There's one thing specifically that I don't like about this spreader. It's this little stand here, because you can see how wobbly it is. So you just have to make sure you're very careful about that when you're pouring in fertilizers, or fill it up on your driveway or something like that. But here in my backyard, I don't really have any cement to do that with, so I just have to be pretty careful with that. You have to see if it smells like success. It smells like a brewery, so that's good in my book. Now on the bag here it says a setting of 11.5 for the Turf Builder Edge Guard. So knowing from my experience, I feel like that might be a little bit heavy, but I'll start on that setting. I'll do a pass or two and see if it's coming out like crazy, which I feel like it's going to be too heavy for me. So we'll find out. As I suspected, that looks like it's a little bit heavy here, so I'm gonna dial it down just a little bit, maybe around 10.5 or so, and try that. Setting of 10 on there looks a little bit better. I feel like it still could be just slightly heavy, so I might dial it back just a touch here, and then we're gonna do the full application here on the rest of the backyard and see how much I have left. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. A setting of 9.5, and I covered 3,500 square feet, put all of the bag in there, so that's about what I have left here. I think somewhere around there, maybe a little bit lower on the setting would get you closer to covering that 5,000 square feet. You definitely need to go a little bit lower on your setting if you want to cover that, but like I said, the nice thing about organics is that we don't have to be as careful with that. I wanted to put out a little bit more than what the coverage would be for 5,000 square feet, so I'm just going to set this a little bit lower, go over the yard in the other direction, and put the rest of this out. So how much nitrogen did we put down then if I covered 3,500 square feet with that bag? We can figure that out. I'm certainly no math wizard here, but it's not too difficult to figure out. So the bag has 10% nitrogen in it. So let's take 100 and divide that by 10. We get 10, obviously. So 10 pounds per 1,000 would give us 1 pound of nitrogen on the ground. So what did we cover here with the rate that I put down? So that's a 25 pound bag. We're gonna divide that by 3.5 for 3,500 square feet. We come up with 7.14. So that's 7.14 pounds of this product that I put down on that 3,500 square feet. So 7.14 times 0.10, which is our nitrogen percentage of 10, equals 0.714 pounds of nitrogen down on that section right now. So round that off, we're very close to 3/4 of a pound of nitrogen that I just put down on that section. So if you wanted to cover 5,000 square feet with this bag, you'd have to put down 5 pounds of product per 1,000 square feet, and that would get you 5,000 square feet out of a 25 pound bag. A lot of math there. If you didn't like that part, I'm sorry, but I just want to let you know if you are interested in that, then that's how much we put down on this backyard, and that gives you an idea of what kind of coverage you get with the rate that I used. One thing that you might notice with this product compared to the Milorganite product as far as color goes is that Milorganite contains iron in the actual fertilizer, so that kind of pop of blue-green color that you get from Milorganite shortly after you apply it is actually mainly from the iron, from my experience. So this doesn't contain that, but you could add application of iron by a couple different ways. I'll probably be using the Lawn Energizer from Simple Lawn. There's different forms of chelated liquids you can apply. There's Ironite, which is a granular product. There's different things you could do there to get some iron on the lawn. And the other thing to mention with this one is that this is 7.1% water-soluble nitrogen. So you want to actually water this in after the application if you can. That's going to jumpstart things a little bit quicker since there's more water-soluble in there. So I actually really enjoyed the way the fertilizer spread. I felt that was really easy to do. You can see it very easily where it's going, the color of it. And the smell, if you do like beer or breweries and stuff like that, I think it smells fantastic. There's one other thing I'm going to add today, which is an application of soil hume. I talked about this in a couple of my previous videos, so if you'd like to check out how to apply that and a little bit more about it, I'll have a video for you. If you have any comments or questions on this video, just let me know. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.